NXT TakeOver Toronto. Patrick Clark comes out but gets taken out with one kick. Joe tries to take out Nakamura, but Nakamura is just ready for him. Building up, again, the matchup for NXT TakeOver in the best way. But now, we go from NXT to Lucha Underground. Ooh, this was a damn good show. I honestly thought it was going to probably be a restful show in which, they probably are going to keep building things up and blah, 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 blah. But they have a recap opener of everything that basically happened over the last month, I want to say, where they talk about Prince Puma wanting to redeem himself, talking about Johnny Mundo with his mission to take on Sexy Star, the Dario Style of Doom recap of what went on there, the recapping of Mil Muertes and Prince Puma. Just a lot that happened on this recap, and it was pretty cool. We start off with the Vampiro and Prince Puma promo, where basically Vampiro is basically trying to help Prince Puma out, but Prince Puma is basically saying, "No, I don't want your help. I would much rather, die at the hands of Mil Muertes than live at the hands of Vampiro." Great line by them. And in all honesty, this definitely is going to make things very intriguing. Because I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to do with Vampiro and Prince Puma. You definitely could tell in his facial reactions that there's something going on there that we're just missing. So we go from that to Darius announcing the Dial of Doom, and it lands on Killshot. Whew. And this was a very interesting matchup. Killshot gave it everything that he got, but it was kind of one-sided in favor of Matanza. But Killshot gave him everything, and he was just about to go for the double foot stomp when he got hit with a rolling uppercut, and then the Wrath of the Gods for the 1-2-3. Killshot falls victim to Matanza. But then a Mystery Army Man came out after the matchup, and it seemed like it was going to be kind of like this emotional deal. Killshot knew who he was, and he actually gave the guy a hug. The guy was not at all responsive. And then he just beats him down, and then hits this massive, I think, Fisherman Brainbuster. It was just brutal. Killshot just laid out. And this guy apparently is named A.R. Fox. I'm not too sure on who that is. But as soon as I saw that on Twitter, I'm thinking, okay, that's something interesting I got to mention. So A.R. Fox, I guess, is going to be the man's name. He takes his own dog tags off and throws it on Killshot. He says, "You left me for dead." So this is the guy that I think sent the letter to Killshot a few weeks ago, stating that you left me for dead, and now his past is coming back to haunt him. Jeez Louise. We see the Trios champions, Aerostar, Drago, and Phoenix come out to the ring. And then Dario says, "Before I announce your opponent, I have a big announcement to make of my own." And that being that in 4 weeks, the return of Aztec Warfare. And if you guys have not seen Aztec Warfare, you are missing out on something that is very special and very, very, very good. This is basically like a Royal Rumbles matchup in which, in certain intervals, people come in. And the thing is, though, you can't be eliminated by getting thrown over the top rope. You're either eliminated by pinfall or submission. So that makes this matchup even more intriguing. The last one was won by Matanza. So Dario is very confident that he will win again, that he puts Matanza at number 1. And he is saying, "Hey, Phoenix, at least you don't have to worry about, going through him, right?" And then he says there's going to be a unique opportunity in this matchup in which there's going to be the number 20 entrant was going to be announced after the end of this matchup. And that being that it was going to be a 3-way matchup between Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix. that was just genius by Dario, and he definitely threw us all for a loop. I'll ask you guys, this was a damn good matchup. Again, all three of these guys gave it everything that they had, but in the end, Drago picks up the victory, and he is the number 20 entrant for Aztec Warfare. A damn good matchup. I would recommend anybody to go check it out. This could be a possible match of the year contender, in all honesty. We see a backstage segment with Drago and Mariposa, in which Mariposa is basically saying, I want you to win the title and bring it back to our tribe. And then Drago basically says, I left your tribe thousands of years ago, and there's no way that I'm going to join you again. And then Drago does like this roar. Mariposa turns around, there's this big fat guy who just eating a slice of pizza in the bathroom, and he just says, I thought this was the men's room. And Drago is gone. Mariposa looks at this poor unfortunate soul and just hisses at him and walks away. A very weird deal, but at the same time, it wasn't like horrible. It was just kind of funny. So Johnny Mundo and Dario Cueto are in his office, and Dario says, what do you want? And Johnny Mundo says, you have been denying me this for a long time, but I want to pay you back, and I want you to give me what I want. He gives him a briefcase, and it is filled with a lot of money. It was like a weird number. I think it was like $97,642 or something like that. Almost about $100,000, I think it was. And he says, I want Sexy Star. And Dario just says, well, I hope you don't have any plans for next week, because you got her for the Gift of the Gods title. So it will indeed be Johnny Mundo versus Sexy Star for the Gift of the Gods title. Oh, gosh, it is going to be... That is going to be a very physical matchup. I can tell you right now, that is another matchup that I think will definitely tear the house down. Speaking of tearing the temple down, this is what the main event basically did. Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma. Holy shit. Was this an amazing matchup. A rivalry renewed between these guys. They battled in the past before, and again, they just showed each other their physicality. Mil Muertes dominating quite a bit, but Prince Puma finding that fire, finding that passion that he needed for so long, and he beats Mil Muertes with a 630 splash, and he will indeed get some more momentum. But it also shows Vampiro having kind of this look of just kind of smiling and nodding, like there's the fire. That's exactly what he needed. Excuse me, that's exactly what he needed. And he got the victory over Mil Muertes. And then we go to close the show off with a promo with Rey Mysterio Jr., where he's basically talking about, I've had a lot of respect for your family, but Chavo is somebody that really is screwing with me, and I need to know that if I do this, will I lose any respect from the Guerrero family? And the person he's talking to? Chavo Guerrero Sr. Chavo Classic, where he basically talks to him and says, we've had a lot of respect for you, we've had a lot of respect for your family, but are you sure there is nothing else that we can do? Are you sure that there's no other way? And Rey Mysterio replies, this Aztec warfare, this temple is too big for the both of us, so either he goes or I go. So obviously they are definitely setting up for a matchup between Chavo Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. The loser's going to leave the temple. I think it's going to happen the night of Aztec Warfare. I can almost guarantee it's going to happen that night. Because, in all honesty, it's going to be a matchup that is going to really showcase both of them. And it's really going to make me excited to see this rivalry resume again. So that is the weekly recap, you guys, for Raw, SmackDown, Lucha Underground, and NXT. Quite a bit that talked about. Jeez Louise. I feel like I'm just going to lose my voice because I'm excited for so much. NXT Toronto is going to be amazing. The announcement of Aztec Warfare returning in 4 weeks. Oh man, it's going to be 4 weeks too long for me. So much going on this upcoming week. Like I said, on Change the F Up next week, we'll be talking about costume ideas, as well as our top 10 favorite costumes of all time. And like I said, for those of you that are interested in championship belts, there's a good deal going on. If you go and email AJ's Belts at ajsbelts@yahoo.com, you can get a special pre-order pricing for the Universal and the Cruiserweight Championship belt, you guys. You can only get this kind of a deal right here on the Squared Circle Podcast. I have been your host, Nate the Effing Great. Tune in also next week when we will be doing the Hell in a Cell predictions. That title is coming home to me. Need to remember that I am only 1 point behind. This is a lot closer than what the matchup was between Max and Spencer last month. This month, the title is coming back home to me. And AJ, Chris, don't think I forgot about you. There's going to come a time, there's going to come a day. I'm taking that title back, and I'm going to keep it with me. So guys, that has indeed been the Squared Circle Podcast. I have been your host, Nate the Effing Great. I am going to probably go crash because I am so happy with the world of wrestling right now. I will see you guys next week. Have a good night, and remember that wrestling is good right now. Remember Goldberg, Ellsworth, Aztec Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Talk to you later.
Wolfpack is back, cause I'm mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of wrestling. Testing competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the rings like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the Wolfpack. Here to prove a point, number one, best believe that you don't want to tussle with them or be there for them. Come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.